Hey everyone, my name's Pupsker, and yeah, we're talking about iFlynn because iFlynn quit Warframe. He's not going on like a break or anything. He officially made his video announcing that he quit. I believe it's because in his last video he said he was going to quit and probably didn't mean to say it in that video, and then he's like, oh crap. He said in his new video that he meant to release his I Quit Warframe video in September, but he released it now because last video he talked about it, and yeah, I guess he kind of accidentally maybe leaked the fact that he was quitting Warframe, but realistically the time frame doesn't matter. So yeah, he's gone, he's quitting Warframe, still gonna be around with YouTube and Twitch playing other games, but he will be done through Warframe. Oh well, it is what it is. So today we're going to talk about maybe why that is, what's going on, the general situation. Because if anyone knows who I am Pupsker. I used to play MapleStory, and I have gone through the exact same situation iFlynn has gone through on a much, much lesser scale. So let's get into it, right? Essentially, it sounds like iFlynn, right? He quit Warframe pretty much because he's burnt out. Like, he just doesn't have a passion to play the game anymore, like whatsoever, he said. Which honestly, you can't blame a guy sometimes. He's been playing the game for 3-4 years and he's done, right? It's hard to play a game and do one thing for so long. So let's go, like, why is he burnt out? Well, if I recall, very specifically in the very beginning of the video, he's like, yeah, Warframe was really fun, and he thinks it peaked at, I think he said War Within, around those updates, like all the sick questline War Within updates, right? That's where he said the game peaked, at least for him. Now, don't get me wrong, he never shits on the game, right? Don't go over to iFlynn, don't go over like shit on iFlynn, don't do that, okay? It's not the whole point of this video. The point is just simply to just talk about it, guys, because it's okay to talk about it, you know? It's okay. So the point definitely is not to shit on him. It's just to say, like, he doesn't hate the game or anything. He doesn't think the game's terrible. He pretty much just says he doesn't think it's for him anymore. Like, he's burnt out, right? He said all the updates past the War Within just kind of felt meh to him. Like, he expected more out of them, and I don't really blame him. A lot of people, especially in the past year or so on Warframe, they haven't really been too hyped about the updates, right? Fortuna was the last, like, sick update the game got, to my knowledge. Like, ever since then, it's just been, yeah, you know, more small content updates, maybe new Warframes, etc. Ooh, Prime Vol update. Wow, so shocking. So there's been a lot of, like, smaller updates, but there hasn't been any big update, right? Railjack is going to be the next big update, and we'll really have to see where the game goes for that. So, like, the game just never really got better for him from War Within. Like, I get it. He just kind of got bored of the game. He felt the game definitely peaked there. So once a game peaks and you're just kind of bored of it, what do you do? Yeah. I believe he brought up the fact that the game has no, like, real repeatable endgame, which I was going to talk about in a different video, but we'll do that next week. Like, he kind of felt the game had no endgame. I think he talked about how, like, Plains of Eidolon can be thought of kind of as endgame in the fact that it has the Eidolon hunts, and that's, like, endgame stuff, right? You gotta build up your moat, your new amps. You gotta start after the moat amp, creating real good amps, and building up, like, a whole new system there. So I don't know, he said that. He's like, the Profit Taker for Fortuna? He's like, yeah, I guess that's endgame too, but yeah, Warframe has no real endgame. And iFlynn definitely brought up the fact that he thinks Warframe's like it's a really casual game these days. Because you know how back in the day, endgame was like, oh, there were raids, but they weren't good. But there were raids, people would always run voids, they'd do really long missions, but these days, there's not a huge incentive to do any, like, long form content in the game. Like, maximum you'd want to do 20 minutes runs, because past 20 minutes, what's the point? Yeah, the game just doesn't have a whole lot of endgame content. In my opinion, the endgame content is farm more stuff, do more stuff, unlock everything, get your number higher, and just go find stuff to do. It, like, endgame is what you want endgame to be. It can be making your Warframe beautiful, and yeah, it is what it is. Like, I get it. He's burnt out because there's nothing for him to do in Warframe. I get it. I'm at the stage right now where there's a ton of stuff that I can do in Warframe. So I, understandably so, am pretty excited because I have a lot of stuff to do in the game. There's so much stuff to do. There's so many weapons I have to try out. But for iFlynn, he's done all that already, right? And his YouTube channel is primarily guide-based Warframe content. I think that's actually most Warframe content creators right now, but in my opinion, Warframe content goes down to two things. It goes down to guides, and it goes down to, I guess, just commentary like this video. There's not a whole lot of highly edited videos for Warframe. Like, you can kind of think of, I guess, quite shallow, I don't know. You can think as a Shy, Cephalon Shy? Yeah. You can, I don't know names. Either way, you can think of like there's comedic Warframe channels with editing. Like there's a whole bunch of different types, but the main ones I believe are guides. Warframe is a game that fucking doesn't tell you a goddamn thing, so no surprise people want guides, and yeah, like that's all of iFlynn's content. So it's very interesting to see how he's actually going to do once he leaves Warframe. Like, is he actually going to find success, or is he going to trickle out and just be a smaller content creator, maybe have to get a full-time job? Who really knows? He talked about how he actually went into great detail, and by great detail I mean he talked about this a little salty, and I can't really blame him. iFlynn was like, yeah, so if you want to go into Warframe, literally what I'm doing right now, he's like, yeah, if you want to go into content creation with Warframe, right? Streaming Warframe on Twitch, fucking awful idea. He's like, it is so bad. I don't know how some of the full-time Warframe content creators can live, because there is not a huge Twitch Warframe community. Like, there just straight up isn't. The biggest thing that shocked me about Warframe is how big the game is compared to how small the Twitch viewership is. Comparing this game to old school RuneScape in purely player count, it's very similar, but the Twitch viewer count is like 5 to 10 times difference. Like, it is insane. There's thousands, like 5 to 10,000 people ever watching old school RuneScape at any given time, and usually for Warframe streams, it's sitting at like 1,000 people, other than dev streams, of course, because people love dev streams. So yeah. He definitely said that if you want to go into Warframe, you should probably just chill and make YouTube videos and not go into full-time streaming as the only thing, because it's damn near impossible to live. He also talked about how he hates the fact that the negativity around the community is so big. He talked about how he only does scripted, like when he does opinion piece, commentary type videos like this one, he always scripts it just so he wouldn't say stuff that might piss off the community, or say like misspeak and say something that would piss everyone off. So yeah, it's weird. Like, I guess he was against the volatility of all the hostility around the community when he like maybe misspoke. He was really annoyed at how often like people would maybe misrepresent or mistake things he would say, which, yeah, no, I get that. Shit happens. This is the internet. People do that crap all the time. The internet kind of sucks a lot about that. The internet can suck. It is what it is. And then like, he also talked about, I didn't know this at all, that back in the day, I guess when he was maybe newer and started to get really popular, there was a lot of two-faced like YouTubers and Twitch streamers that were just really two-faced to him, right? Like, they would try to maybe be his friend for just Twitch or YouTube success, and they would like shit talk him behind his back, make like videos shit talking him, and like on purpose misrepresenting points he made. And yeah, like, that sucks. I get that. It definitely is terrible. He also said like you probably wouldn't even find the videos if you tried looking for them at this point, because yeah, he didn't bring up any names. I'm not gonna bother thinking about anyone, because really, who cares? Like, people were dicks, and he's probably like, hey, fuck those guys. I get that. He's like, fuck all the two-faced YouTube, Twitch streamers, all that jazz. People are like, just want to be your friend to maybe get dirt on you and then make a hit piece and crap like that. Like, yeah, I feel like he's just fully burnt out. Probably of everything. Like, it sounds like he's burnt out the politics of it. He's burnt out of making videos. Because, yeah, he brought up how it's a lot different when you're a content creator compared to someone who plays games, right? Who just plays them casually. Because when you're a normal human being and you just play games to play games, you can like fuck off, ditch that game, swap games however many times you want in like a week. You can do whatever you want. No one will care. But if you're a YouTube or a Twitch content creator and you tend to make one type of game type videos, right? Like, you know, you're a Warframe content creator, etc., etc. It's very hard to create other content, right? Like, you get shit on for creating other content. People actively hate on you for doing it, and you actively have to keep creating Warframe content. Like, you will lose a large part of your community if you're a Warframe YouTuber and you don't make Warframe content. No shit. Like, that's just how it goes. I'm sorry about blowing your ears out there. Like, I used to create MapleStory content. I stopped playing MapleStory. My viewers essentially 90%, like 99% just left. Like, they all fucked off. But the thing was, this is years ago, and I've been so salty about that game and so burnt out of that game. I'm never going back, and I know that now. Same as iFlynn's never going back to Warframe. I think I went back to MapleStory a little bit just to see if like, oh, is the game better, blah, blah, blah. It's just the same game. Once you're burnt out of a game and you don't want to play it anymore, you're done. You don't want to play that game anymore, my dudes. Like Warframe, at least, I stopped playing it just because I felt like I wasn't getting any traction. But it's a fun game, so I want to go back to it. I might still not get any traction, but I can at least say this. I'll be making Warframe videos for at least the next year or so, just to see how it goes. And if I don't have any growth, I'll just delete my YouTube channel. Okay, probably not, but yeah, I'll just switch up games, because I don't ever consider YouTube a job. So I'll never have to go through what iFlynn is going through. I have a job. I have a real job in my like real life, not my internet personal life. Oh, it's so different online. Yeah, no, I have a real job to support my bills, you know, so I don't go homeless and die and be sad. I'm good there. iFlynn doesn't have another job. He doesn't have a fallback, right? So this is essentially like a huge career-changing move and possibly quote-unquote career suicide. I don't know. So I would say this. Go unsubscribe to iFlynn if you only watch his Warframe videos, just because that's what he asked, right? If you're gonna go watch his videos, yeah, just go sub to him. Yeah, if you're gonna watch his videos, just go sub to him. But he's gonna be playing other videos from now on, so just go show him support or love. Don't hate on him. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.